Hey everybody, Undeadbread here, back with another quick tip video. Today's topic is going to be when to counter jungle. Now there are a number of scenarios where it's appropriate to counter jungle, but today I'm just going to go over 5 of them which are pretty simple to memorize and that'll keep you safe while you're walking around in the opponent's jungle. As we all know, the point of counter jungling is denying your opponent experience and gold, and if you die in the process of doing that, you're actually helping them rather than hurting them. For this reason, safety should be your top priority while trying to do any kind of invade. So guys, the best time to do counter jungling, or when I would recommend it the most, is when you see the other jungler on the map doing either a gank in a far off lane or backing because of low health. Obviously, map awareness comes into play a lot here, and if you have good at map awareness, you'll be able to take a lot more camps from the opposite jungler than if you're not looking at the map too often. It's also important to keep looking at the map while you're behind enemy lines, because you never know when a lane is going to come try and gank you with the help of their returning jungler. Overall, this is simply the best way to counter jungle, because you know that the jungler will not be back for a good amount of time, and that you should be able to get a camp and slip away without anybody even knowing you're there. This also proves as a means of punishing a jungler for ganking too often. If he's ganking bot lane, even if he's setting them behind in CS, if you're taking his buffs and or donating them to their other lanes, then you're going to be helping your team out a lot more than he's helping his. The next time when it's appropriate to counter jungle is when there's a lot of pressure from your team on the map somewhere. Say you have a Twisted Fate in your mid lane and he decides to use his ulti and go bottom. Not only does that give you vision of the opposing jungler to safely get into the jungle, but it also draws him to whichever lane that he is trying to gank for a counter gank. While he's doing that counter gank, you're free to take any and all of his camps for a good minute to maybe even 2 minutes. Other scenarios that would have the same kind of pressure would include a split pushing top lane or bot lane, or possibly a 2 to 3 person skirmish around Dragon Pit or another objective that the jungler would probably be drawn to. This method of counter jungling is usually fairly safe, however it should be noted that the jungler can always make a weird decision and decide to go take his camps instead of helping his team, in which case you might be caught red-handed doing a buff with low health. Now guys, when you're caught doing a buff by the jungler, your number one priority needs to be escaping. Just go ahead and leave the buff as fast as you can. If you can smite it, do that, and then run for your life. You do not want to die in the opponent's jungler. That's the worst thing that can happen, because not only will they get your buff plus whatever buffs you have on you, but that also gives them free reign to go into your jungle and take your buffs while you're dead. Another case, which is quite common, where you can counter jungle is when you're playing a strong counter jungling champion like, say, Shyvana or Nunu. These champions are extremely strong at the low levels, have a lot of sustain, and shouldn't have any problem against just about anyone in the jungle. However, you do need to be careful about laners coming to assist their allies. While those early game buff steals can still set back a jungler for the entire length of the game, it is important to focus on the safety, because if you die, you'll also be set back. Another scenario I want to talk about today is when you already have dominance over their buffs and your own, and you're going back into their jungle on the respawn timer to take them again. If the opposing jungler has managed to pick up the respawn timers, you can expect to be meeting them there with some allies, so you should probably bring some friends to try and regain the control. If you're just miles ahead of the opposing jungler and he has no idea when his buffs spawn, then just go ahead and take him alone, but make sure to ward all the entrances to his jungle to see when he's coming, just in case. Alright guys, the last case I want to talk about today is kind of a strange one. It's when you know that you're being counter jungled, and instead of trying to fight the opposing jungler inside of your jungle, you just go to theirs and take their buff instead. This is a way of trading buffs that usually works out okay, but you do need to be very, very careful while doing it. The most common case of this is a level 1 buff trade, so it's really nothing to worry about. However, you do need to be aware that you can get collapsed on very, very easily by the opposing team while you're sitting in their jungle at level 1. But anyways guys, so overall, just the most important thing to remember from this video is that when you're counter jungling, safety is going to be your number one priority. If you have vision on the opposing jungler, or you know that they've backed because they have low health, then you're free to take as many camps as you please. And also that as the game progresses, you have to take more and more force to secure the buffs with your team. So thanks for watching guys. If you enjoyed this video or it was helpful to you, please leave a like or a comment, add it to favorites or whatever you want to do. If you'd like to get my new videos as soon as they come out on your home screen, then go ahead and hit subscribe. If you have a replay for a jungler you'd like analyzed, go ahead and send it to undeadbreadreplay@gmail.com. That link will also be in the description. Thanks guys and have a great day.